Hi guys, so today I just have a few things from some local stores, so it's, more just to show you things that are available that maybe if you have a market that you haven't visited in your town that you should go check it out, because you never know, and there's always fun things. Some of these things come from the Mediterranean market, which here is called North Park. I always get mixed up because there's a Mexican store, a Mexican market that's kind of like a chain out here in San Diego, and it's North Gate. So I always... Northgate Produce, North Park Produce. So like I always get that mixed up, and let me just make sure. Yeah. So North Park is the one that is the Mediterranean market out here. And there's one in Poway and there's one in Vista. And I don't know if there are any other ones. I know those two. And then they also sell like hot food, which is amazing. So really cool place, bakery, all that. But first, let me show you some things in that same parking lot in the Vista one. I've always driven by on the 78 freeway out here in California, and I've seen there's like an Indian store, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. But at the same time, I like visiting them like in New Mexico and like Arizona. So in California, I'm like, you hardly see them. And I was like, well, I don't know. So I stopped in, and they have it's like a huge beading shop, really. I mean, the store is ridiculously big. It's like a warehouse, almost like that size, like the length of it. And then just a ton of beads. So I was like, oh my gosh. And it's like 4 miles from my house. Like, how did I not know this? So I was really excited to find it. So I'm going to show you the things I got there. And then we'll do the North Park Produce things that are just like stuff to make cookies and other sweet things that I like to do. So this is called, this book says Another Beaded Obsessions. What's funny about this book is like $20, and I wonder if it looks kind of beat up, a little bit old. So I don't know, I was like, maybe they had it there because they make jewelry items there too, and then they sell them. And maybe it was just something they're like, go ahead and sell it, because then they sold it for $15, which is still kind of high, but I like to support stores like that, or a smaller local store. So I was like, I'll just pick it up. And then I got this, which is the huge John Bead bead loom. Now, I did a review or tutorials on these a long time ago, but I think I had deleted them, so I wasn't able to upload them on this channel again. But this one is a wider loom. So it's just that basic loom that looks kind of like this, that metal frame, and then it has like a little wood. And usually the one that you find like at Walmart for a few dollars is like half the size of this, and the one at not Target, well, maybe they might have it, but Joann's, Michael's, those kind of things. So this one's super wide, so I was like, cool, I want to try that out. And again, it comes with all the little things you need, and it's just your basic loom. Pick that up because I hadn't seen one that wide before. And then they had a bunch of fun, like, just cool stuff. So I got some of their incense cones, and these are for backflow incense, really. They're just big cones that you put on these little things where the smoke or whatever that comes out of this ends up flowing down it. And they had a couple there as like, oh, it smells so good, as examples, but like nobody came around to really show me like, okay, this is where it would be if I wanted to actually buy one, because they were cute. They're like little statues, and you put it on the top and then it kind of flows down the shape of the little statue. But oh well. So I just got one of these that was there as just a little incense holder. So basically I'm gonna put this in here and light it, and then you put your little cone on here, and the little incense obviously will come out the top and around the sides here. So really cute. I'm always off and on about incense. I'm like, oh yeah, then I don't use it because I'm afraid. Even though incense is probably a little bit safer than other things, because you light it and you kind of let it go out, and then the little ember still goes. But I don't know. I did pick up some beading needles, the roundish one, because I don't know if I have any curved beading needles. And what I liked about this one, this John James Pebble, is that it has a nice little case. So I have a bunch of beading needles, and they're usually really skinny and long, and kind of weak, right? Because they're so thin. They just roll around wherever I put them, and it's been a nightmare. So it's nice to have this little guy, and hopefully I can pop in more than just the ones that are there. I can't tell. I can't tell if that's like a foam or what that is. So hopefully I can pop in more in there. I picked up some of these little guys just because they had them, and there was just a few. It's just pins, and a lot of times you can do your little beading things. You make them on a pin. You make it look like a design, but the design is on a pin. So you have the pin, and then you have the other pins hanging down from it, and that's where you make your little design. So it's just another option for beading. And then they have these too, and I was like, I have to get one. They're crochet hooks, but they were only $3.50. They did not have sizes on them because obviously it's natural, and supposedly this is some kind of bone. I don't know. But it says bone needle hook, and they are all really cool. It's just that I wanted to make sure that it was smooth. Some of them were a little rougher, or maybe this little part was chipped, or so I got this one, and it looks like it might be I don't know, maybe like a J size, I or J. It's a little bit bigger, but not that big. So I was like, maybe. We'll see. I'm going to have to test it out on one of my little gauge things to see how the actual size of it. Like I said, they were all random. And then they had these cute little tiny, oh my gosh, look at these beads. And they have stripes in them. I don't know if you can see that. I have not seen beads like this, and I thought these were adorable, and they had different sizes, but I got these little tiny guys. They're check beads. So they're about like 11, size 11, basically. It says 12-0, so 11, 12, all right, check beads. You know, they're a little small there. And still in that beading area where I found those, they had these. They call them trade beads because it's just a bunch of beads on a string, basically, and these were just like $2.50 or something, I don't know. And they're just cute because there's just a ton of different beads, and then this also had some of those striped beads on it, and that's where I first saw them, and then I saw the little bags, but these have bigger ones too on there. So those were cute. And, oh, this little guy. So this is an ocarina, and I remember Dorian had one when he was smaller, and it broke. And so we went, and my husband's like, hey, where's that? And I'm like, I have no idea. It was only $5. I don't even know if it works, to be honest. It looked more decorative than anything, but let's see. Let's see if it makes noise. Oh, it does work. Okay, cool. All right, so Dorian's going to love that. And then right here you can put like a little string to put on a necklace, but I should have probably got one from Miranda too, because I have a feeling she's going to want that. And then they had a bunch of necklaces and things that they hand make there, and they were 50% off. So even though this was $30 originally, I got it for $15, and I thought Miranda's going to love this. I don't know if it's going to fit her, so if it doesn't fit her, I guess Mommy has to wear it, but I do like it. It's very cute. They had some really pretty necklaces. So I thought that was nice. So I grabbed those. Again, the store is just there in Vista. It's called Unique Indian Arts and Crafts. And it looks just like whenever you're driving through, oh no, I chipped a nail. Some of these towns where they have like an Indian store, they all kind of look the same. You know what I'm saying? Like the outside of the building. So I don't know if, I don't think they're franchised, just maybe it's recognizable. I don't know. Okay, so from my local Mediterranean market, I went there to get some spices for some recipes that I had checked out some books from the library, Mediterranean recipes. And then it reminded me how I love to make baklava, so I made some baklava over the weekend. I put a picture on Instagram. And then I was watching other videos and people have baklava trays. I'm like, oh, I should get one of these. So this is for the stacked up baklava. This is actually really easy to do. But you just kind of layer your sheets, your phyllo sheets, put in whatever the filling is, layer more phyllo sheets, and then you cut them at an angle so it looks like a diamond shape. Pour your butter over it, bake it up, and then at the end, put your syrup, right? Your sugar syrup that you made. And so I really wanted one of these trays. It was only $7.50, so I was like, sweet. So it's not too deep. Maybe you can make a pizza cookie in here too. Like one of those big chocolate chip cookies, you know? But as I was doing that too, I had come across these molds, and I remember having bought one of these back in the day. I think I showed it to you guys in another, probably on my old channel. And so these make something called mamul. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but they are like cookies that are made of semolina, but they really, the way that they look, and it reminds me of shortbread, but it's not. So some of them are flaky. It depends on the family's recipe, right? So everyone says, you know, your family, however they make it. I mean, there's like tons of different recipes. So some people do this, some people do that, some people add whatever, some people don't add that. So like, there's just, they bake it at different temperatures, they make it for different lengths of time. So just, if you find a recipe that is interesting to you. So basically, it's a cookie like this, and it has dates in the middle, like a date pulp kind of thing, or walnuts, which is probably what I would do. Well, I like dates too, so I'll probably make both of them. Pistachio filling, different fillings depending on where you're from, right? And people use them or make these cookies during special times of the year, you know, depending on if you're Christian or Muslim or however you do it. You do these at different times. That's all. So other people are like, yeah, I just make them all year long because they're so good, right? So again, it's a semolina cookie, which is very interesting. That's why I'm like, I really want to try this. I did see a recipe just using regular flour and stuff. So that was, and I wasn't even thinking, I thought, you know, you could probably put shortbread in this just to mold it and look really cute. So the recipe I saw this morning was kind of like a shortbread, still stuffed, and then pushed in here. So I'm like, I might try that one first because it's not as particular, because the other recipe you have to use like clarified butter or ghee and semolina, right? So it's a little bit different. But it's really cute. So this was one of the molds, and this one was relatively inexpensive. I think it was like $3. These are some other molds. So you basically push your cookie and then you smack it out, right? So This one has like a little flower detail, even though this one's similar, but it's a little bit different and also a different size. Hope you can see that. And then we have this one here that kind of look like a sunflower to me on this outer edge, but I'm not sure if that's what it's supposed to look like. Some of them were really roughly done, so I'm like, no, I don't want to get a rough one, because then it just doesn't, maybe it's not going to come out as nicely and all that. You do have to oil them and keep them nice, but I thought these were really cool, and I was glad to get them, because why not? I mean, it's not easy to find, so I thought that was kind of cool that they were there. Different honeys I like to get there. You guys, if you're talking about honey, go to a Mediterranean store. Oh my goodness, like half an aisle will just be honey, if not a whole aisle will be different honeys. So this is flower honey. This one was less expensive. I think this was $6.99. I just thought it was cute with the little pour spout. I'm like, oh yeah, I need to get this. So glass jars, it's reusable. And then this one was like $13. It has its honeycomb in there, and it is an acacia honey with natural honeycomb. It says 100% pure honey, and this one was happening to be made in Germany. So I do like the jar. Obviously we can reuse it. Really cute. But they have honeys that are like $30 and some that are like a few dollars, you know. So pretty cool stuff. Saffron, of course. I was like, oh, just give me that little one since it's $6.99, but I realized this is a lot less saffron than were in some of the other ones that were like $20 and $30. So $7 for 1 gram. I don't know why I thought the lady had said ounce, and then I got home, I'm like, oh wait, these are grams. Like, this is way less than, I mean, saffron is expensive, everyone knows that. And they had tons of different types of it, and they had it in the front with them, obviously, because it's a small little thing, and it's expensive, so. So I was glad to get at least that one just to try it for some recipes. Some of this stuff isn't that impressive or fun. I mean, okay, pepper. Let me plug in my camera real quick. And see, it's gonna need to charge here. But I do have a baklava recipe or video that I had put on my old channel, and I will release it maybe in the next couple days here, just so you guys can have that again. Oh, these yummy things. Okay. So I love grape leaf dolma or sarma, and I used to eat them all the time in Reedley, where I grew up at this, whenever I was in high school. I don't know why. I think they were inexpensive, so we would just go down to this one little restaurant, and they must have been just like $1 or $2 for like 3 or 4 of them. I don't know. I just remember buying them all the time. And these aren't bad, the ones that come in cans. So these are, I got this one, I got one other brand just to try them. But where are they? I want to say, if you haven't tried them, go ahead and get the ones from Trader Joe's, because those are really good. Trader Joe's also sells these. They're just basically a grape leaf wrapped around like rice and like other spices and good stuff. They're just yummy. You can dip them in tzatziki if you like, if you have some of that. Here's the other one. So these are just some brands I wanted to try, and they're not inexpensive, so hopefully they're good. This is Onassis Mediterranean Delicacies, and this one looks like it's Greek, maybe. And then I got so after I got those, I'm like, might as well get my own dolma wrapper, because you can wrap these on your own, you know, in your hand and everything. But supposedly this one, you put your grape leaf, you put your stuffing, whatever it is that you want to put in it, because sometimes it's just meat, but usually it's like a rice mixture. And then you, supposedly, and then it's ready to go. So we will see if this works. And this was only like $3 or $4. So I thought that was kind of interesting. 3-year warranty. And then it even shows the cabbage leaf ones, which is good. I think the cabbage ones are the ones that you normally put the meat in. These guys are usually rice in the middle. But I could be wrong. I don't know everything about that, so don't trust me. Then just, you know, fun things I had to pick up for different recipes. I got some tahini, got some paprika, which was like almost $10 for this whole jar. And suppose this is one is not as spicy or hot as some paprikas. I was supposed to look for a smoked paprika. Let me see. I'm trying to see if there's anything else in here that's interesting. I know one of the recipes I want to try out needed rose petals, so they have rose buds here that you take your little petals and put them in your recipes. I know a lot of things are kind of out there. It's different, but it's so good. Like, the flavors sound so nice. What I thought was interesting about these grape leaves, because I need to get grape leaves, so I'm going to make my own dolma, or however. This is California style, and a lot of them said Fresno grape leaf, which I thought was interesting. I'm like, because they're from Fresno, or because that's just the type of grape leaf? I've never heard of that, so I have a feeling it's because it's from there. I don't know. But like, this one is imported from LA, and it says it's a product of Turkey, and it says California style. But some of the other ones say Fresno. So if you guys know anything about that, why it says Fresno, let me know. But these are basically just grape leaves And that's what you need for that good stuff. Trying to see if there's anything else that was fun that I picked up. Nope. And then they have like candies that you can buy by a pound, and I got these guys. I love Turkish Delight type candies, so these are interesting because they look a little squishy. They got pistachios, which are delicious. Now a lot of things are date based or apricot based, so I don't know what's in this, but I'm sure it'll be lovely. And then these little guys, look how pretty. Oh, I love it. So I only got a couple of each because this one felt kind of hard, and I'm like, I don't know if it's supposed to be that hard, but this side's squishy, so maybe. But these are nice and squishy, and I will eat those later. Tons of things like this. Ah, scary! Black dried limes. So they're dried limes, but they turn like this black color, or whatever they do to make it that way. But these are kind of stewed and things. You add them in different recipes, like savory recipes, obviously. So kind of interesting. I do have some ideas of how to use that with some recipes. Walnuts that are literally $1.99 a pound. Can you believe that? Fresh walnuts, like just walnuts, super inexpensive. And I always forget about that. So when I went the other day, I bought some, and when I went back today, I bought a ton more because a lot of recipes I've been doing recently need walnuts. And they use walnuts even in just a regular cooking, not just candy or cookies or things like that, right? So, and then I thought I can spice some of these too, and usually during Christmas we make like spiced walnuts and stuff like that. So I was glad to get these and maybe make some of them kind of yummy, spicy. Not really spicy like spice, but like cinnamon, cloves, stuff like that. Oh, one more mold, sorry. I forgot about this one. I tried different ones because this is a different material than even the other plastic one I got. And these little deeper ones are cool, and it has this cool like shape here. And it's really nice and deep, this one. That's why I like that. I'm telling you, I'm gonna try them with shortbread, see what happens. What else we got? I got this gamla. Whenever my nieces visit, especially when they live in Poway, though, like I said, the Mediterranean, same store, but just down the way, they sell these, and they're so good. And they're just basically like Starburst, that's kind of like a vanilla flavor almost, and then in the middle it has like some liquid, and they're really good. So strawberry, apple, peach, cherry, orange, raspberry, all these flavors in here, and they're just good, yummy, chewy candies. And so for those cookies, I'm supposed to use semolina. So I did buy the semolina. Like I said, I'll probably try out the recipe that's more basic before I try this one that's a little more out of my comfort zone. But I did buy this 4-pound bag of semolina for like $3 or something. I don't know. Pretty inexpensive. And they use it for a lot of different things. So I'm glad to have that. And then with that same recipe, you're supposed to add this stuff. It's called okay, I can't pronounce it. I'll put it there. But what's interesting, this one has with a P at the end, malep, and the other one, machleb, with a B. So I'm like, well, it's the same stuff. At least it looks the same. Hopefully it's the same stuff because this was not cheap. This was $6 for this little bag. And you're supposed to use like a 1/4 teaspoon to make the cookies. So you don't need that much, but at the same time, you're not going to find this. It's like cherry, not cherry bark, it's a cherry berry something. I have no idea what it is or where it comes from, but it gives like a, what's kind of funny, they say it gives like a cherry vanilla flavor, cherry almondish flavor. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of like Jergens lotion, right? The original recipe has kind of like a cherry almond scent. So it just gives it a little like different flavor in the cookie that you can't quite place, right? But it comes from this, and it's a little seed, and they crush it up. So I don't know. So very interesting. So I did buy it already crushed. And the last fun thing, I guess, is this falafel, which is really, I got it to get the falafel tool, right? To make your little falafel, because this was $8, and its falafel tool is like $5, $6, $7, $8 on its own anyway. So I'm like, might as well. So this is the Lebanese recipe for falafel, and this is a powder. Basically, it's ready to go. Just add some water, let it sit for a little bit, and then you make your little falafels. So you can fry them up, or you can pan fry them. I'm gonna try to put them in my air fryer. We'll see what happens, because that's the only thing with falafel. I'm like afraid. I just don't like having to fry stuff. So we'll see. I don't know if it's gonna work, right? It might need some oil, and maybe it doesn't have its own oil to put out, so it might not be air fryable, but we will try it. Why not? I have plenty of the stuff here to make it. So that's pretty much it for today, guys. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions about any of this stuff, let me know, and I will see you guys at the next one. Bye now.